Welcome to the Ripple Podcast.
The podcast where we tell you stories of strange and unusual things.
And the ripples they create.
AKA
the story after the story.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Rosa. And this is
the Ripple. Are we staying together? The Ripple
Sure.
Podcast.
This is the Ripple Podcast.
That wasn't together.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor. Ripple.
We totally should have recorded that.
That was me doing my impression of our Ripple theme song. Oh, hey. Let's talk about our Ripple theme song.
Oh,
Because we've never
that we don't have any rights or ownership of. That we
trademarked.
lifted off of YouTube. That's totally not ours.
It's okay. We borrowed it.
Yeah.
We just borrow it once a week. No big deal.
Well, the company went out of business a long time ago. So,
They probably won't be coming after us.
and we have 27 listeners. So
Sometimes 28.
sometimes 30.
We had 32 at one point.
Yep.
We lost them.
That's okay.
But
But we're in Ireland and Italy.
yeah, that's so cool. And where was it? North
North?
Dakota?
That's in the United States.
Well, I know country-wise, but we have
We have lots of states.
few listeners in North Nebraska.
North Nebraska? No, I think you were North Carolina, I think is what you were thinking of.
Carolina, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few states, like a dozen or so.
You know, it'd be kind of fun. This is what I think is fun these days. Is if we got a map of the U.S. and like put a little sticker on each one where we have a listener.
No, because it would be really depressing when we would have to peel them off after a week.
No, we're going to keep growing listeners. I'm excited.
Yeah, we could do that maybe.
So anyways, the Ripple theme song is from a wine company, right?
A malt beverage.
Oh, malt
Is like the
beverage.
original Four Locos.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
For locals.
Yeah, and it was on Sanford and Son a lot. That's what they would drink.
That's right.
That's how I heard about it originally.
Yeah, Ripple.
So,
It's just cute. It's
and
fun.
then our
it's an
whole
old commercial.
right. And our whole idea of this podcast was to tell you a cool story and then tell you about how it rippled throughout history and changed a lot of things.
Created.
Yeah, and we've kind of done that, kind of, sort of.
I think we.
God, really?
I think we tell a ripple. Sometimes the ripple is small. Sometimes it's like throwing some sand into the water. And other times
Barely see it.
it's like throwing a boulder.
Sometimes, yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's evolved into basically whatever we want to talk about.
It's our
because
podcast, damn it.
I'll do what I want.
I do what I want. What have you been doing lately?
Running,
Yeah.
working,
Yeah.
getting sunburns, horrible sunburns.
It's been hot.
It has been the last couple of days. It's pretty miserable.
It's been crazy hot.
Yeah.
And we had rain like what, a week ago? It was
Yeah.
weird.
I don't like it. But yeah, thinking about your episode a lot.
About Kurt?
Yeah. And I know when I left, when we signed off and finished up that episode, I was all about it was suicide.
Did you
And
change your mind?
Kind of. A little bit. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. I can't decide now.
Courtney did it?
Or had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, I don't think she could have done it. She wasn't anywhere in the area, right?
She had a pretty solid alibi.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about that a lot. Also, I don't know if you mentioned this, but when I was just like thinking about it and I saw some other story related to, probably because my phone's listening to me all the time and it gives me news articles based on what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But the 27 Club, did you mention that?
No.
Do you know about the 27 Club?
No. Is that where people die when they're 27 years old?
Yes.
Okay, I have heard about that. Yeah. No, not Chris Farley. There's something with Chris Farley and John Belushi. There's a lot of similarities with those
Oh, yeah. Okay.
two. Who else was
I'm looking it up right now.
Phoenix, River Phoenix? Was he 27?
I think so. Wait, I want to list.
27 seems so young to me.
It is. Why is it so hard to find a list right now? I should have pulled this up before we started recording.
Well, you
stars.
keep looking.
Oh.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. Jimi Hendrix,
Oh.
Janis Joplin.
Really?
I didn't know that. Jim
She
Morrison.
seemed
Older.
Huh, yeah.
Amy Winehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Johnson.
Don't
American blues legend.
know. Mm-hmm.
He died in 1938, so that's probably why you don't know. Brian Jones, Rudy Lewis.
These are all why can't I say that word?
Musicians.
I want to say magicians. They're all musicians.
Yeah. Well, no. There's a basketball player, Reggie Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about sports. Here's Kurt Cobain, Richie James Edwards, who was guitarist and lyricist for Manic Street Preachers.
I didn't know Amy Winehouse was only 27.
I thought she was older too.
Huh.
Yeah. So
That's
I thought that was
interesting.
kind of interesting. And then also, I looked up that song that you told me to listen to,
Polly.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that was about Polly Klaas.
Because I don't know. I probably didn't say it. I just was blowing through facts. Yeah.
Do you know about that case?
Well, I talked about it a little bit. Sad, right?
So sad.
Yeah. She's 14? Can't remember now.
She was younger than that. She's like 12.
Yeah. Young. Too young to be.
Well, and she was having a sleepover. And her mom was there in the house. It was like, we need to do a story on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like such an invasion of privacy. Like for somebody to come into the house and abduct a child. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, there's some stuff for sure.
There is some stuff.
Lots of ripples, if you will.
Yeah. So how was your week?
Pretty much like the last few spent in quarantine, homeschooling, doing a whole lot of nothing. A lot of outside time. Planted a garden. So that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. We've got some sprouts coming up. Reading a book still with my friends on Zoom.
Oh, yeah, your book club.
Mm-hmm.
You guys still on the happiness book?
We are.
What's it called again? I know I ask you every time.
You
don't remember?
Something to be happy. Something.
Happy.
Choose to be happy. No. Have more fun.
I'm sure it's going really well.
I've had a few drinks tonight already. Sorry.
Have more fun. That's
Have
the name
more
of
fun.
the book.
Yes, that's the name of the book.
Is it really fun?
I like it. It's good. I like it. We did get a suggestion from a listener. We got a message about doing a book club. Because remember how we had talked about that? Like we should do a Ripple book club?
We did.
And she suggested... Do you remember the name of the book? Shoot. I looked it up.
I know it.
I have it on Audible. Something about giving a fuck.
The Subtle Art.
Yes, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
That's it.
And we decided that we're going to do that, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
We don't really know how it's going to work.
Nope.
But we're going to...
I think it should be a monthly thing.
So finish the book in a month.
Yes.
And we can post on social media
Yeah.
and talk about it if we want to. Like, oh my gosh, I read this part. It was really cool. Or, whoa, this was dumb. I didn't like this. Or should we ask questions? I don't know if anyone will read those questions.
What is this, like homework now?
I'm in school mode.
No.
Just write like what we like about it.
Wait, we're writing things?
Well, I don't know. How do you know if you're actually reading it? Do you just talk about it?
You read it if you want to read it. If you don't have to read it, if you don't want to read it.
You're a cool teacher.
I mean, it's quarantine days. Do what you want to do.
I do what I want.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could just read it, talk about it, do weekly updates, see how it's going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play it by ear. Just go with it. But we'll start talking about it next week.
Because next week will be our first episode in May.
Yes. Because this comes out
the last week of April.
Okay. Got it.
That'll be... I've read it already. But
not.
it was several years ago. I really liked it, but I'm ready to revisit it.
Do you remember the author's name?
I have it right here on my phone.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Mark Manson.
Okay. So if you want to join in on the book club, download it on Audible or buy a hard copy.
That's how you do it.
Don't go to the library.
Nope.
Cool. That'll be
Social
fun. I'm
distancing.
excited.
Okay, cool.
And then, do we have anything else to discuss? We have a top 10 list, but we're going to share that at the end of this episode.
Yeah, we decided to do that to kind of, especially on those really downer episodes.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Pick me up at the end.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's do it. It's your story night.
It's my story night, and I gave you guys a hint last week, but I am talking about the disappearance of Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out.
You knew.
Well, you told me, but because I couldn't
By
figure
the
out by
quote,
your
I don't even
clues.
remember what the quotes were now. It was something about be inspirational and
No,
such.
I was totally lost.
Follow your dreams, chase your airplanes. Yeah, so Amelia Earhart, let's get into it. So Amelia Mary Earhart was born July 24th, 1897. That was a long time ago.
Heck yeah, it was.
In Atchison, Kansas. She was named after her grandmother and mother. They were all named Amelia, which I thought's kind of cool. Like doing the mother side of naming.
Family name.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. And she had a sister who was named Grace, but she went by Midge.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How does that
I don't know.
work?
I think it was just a little nickname. Amelia went by Mealy, which I'm not a fan of.
No.
I would have gone with Millie, Amy. Her mom went by Amy, though.
Oh, okay.
So Millie and Midge were homeschooled until the age of 12. And after that, her and her sister, who then changed her name to her middle name, Muriel.
Ooh.
Yeah, she went through all the names.
Wow.
Grace is a pretty name. Just
Grace-
stick with Grace.
Yeah.
They were enrolled in public school. And at this time, Amelia was in 7th grade. Amelia was miserable in school, and she preferred to spend her time alone reading. Same. And her yearbook caption read, A.E., the girl in brown who walks alone.
What?
Isn't
Did
that so
she
sad?
choose that?
No!
Oh, because sometimes some schools
Do a little, not
Like,
a
you get to-
superlative, a little quote.
quote. Yeah. You
Senior
get to choose.
quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she didn't. People were
Someone-
just being mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is not nice.
I like to think that it was inspiration. So her 10-year reunion, she's like, guess what, bitches? I fly airplanes.
And I'm wearing blue, not brown anymore.
Yeah. So throughout her childhood, she kept a scrapbook of newspaper clippings about successful women in predominantly male-oriented fields, including film direction, law, advertising, management, and mechanical engineering.
Cool.
Super cool. So in 1917, Amelia was visiting her sister in Toronto when she saw wounded soldiers returning from World War I, which I'm sure they didn't call World War I at the time, which encouraged her to become a nurse's aide for the Red Cross. Oh, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then in 1918, we don't know anything about pandemics, right?
No, nothing. What's that mean?
Spanish flu pandemic reached Toronto, and as a healthcare worker on the front line, Amelia herself was exposed to the virus and suffered pneumonia and sinusitis, which nearly lasted a year. Imagine having freaking pneumonia for a year. How shitty would that be? And the sinus pain followed her for the rest of her life.
Wow.
So isn't that crazy that you would think that would be the last job you would want?
because of the air pressure?
Yeah.
Huh. Sinus. Maybe she just got used to it.
I guess so.
Ah.
She just really loved
Miserable.
that flying.
Yeah.
Nothing could stop her. So in 1920, she and her father visited Long Beach Airfield. She's all over the place.
Yeah.
Toronto to Long Beach, where World War I ace turn air race pilot gave her a ride in his plane. And she said, quote, by the time I was 200 or 300 feet off the ground, I knew that I had to fly.
Instant.
So,
yeah.
determined to learn how to fly, she said F it to college and started working odd jobs to pay for flight training. And after 6 months, in 1921, she purchased a secondhand bright yellow Kinner Airster biplane that she called the Canary,
Cute.
which apparently was like $200. I mean,
What I
6 months of working odd jobs and she buys herself an airplane. How cool would that be?
What did it say? What kind of plane the guy took her in for her first flight?
Probably did, but I didn't write it down.
Oh.
Why?
I was just curious. If it was I guess it was a race plane. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
was
I mean,
it?
you could make any plane a race plane if you fly fast
Yeah.
enough, right?
I just wonder what it was like about that feeling. You know, she's 200 feet off the air or off the ground, and she's like, "Oh my gosh."
I don't know. I mean, flying's pretty cool. In October 1922, Amelia flew her plane to an altitude of 14,000 feet, which set the world record for female pilots. Then, on May 15th the following year, she became the 16th woman in the U.S. to be issued a pilot's license.
Wow. Wait, what?
Right?
Wait, shouldn't that have gone like the other way around?
You would think so. I don't know. Maybe since she was like flying by herself, she had like a student certificate or something.
Wow.
But yeah, you would think you would probably want to get your actual certificate
Before you start
start
setting
breaking
records.
world records. But that's cool. So over the next year, Amelia joined flying clubs and became a sales rep for Kinner Aircraft and wrote for the local newspaper chapter about it. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening to your story.
Okay.
I like it. I'm into it.
We'll get to conspiracy stuff. Just wait.
Tell me more about someone rad that flies airplanes.
Okay. So in 1927, a man by the name of Charles Lindbergh.
Huh, I've heard of him.
You've heard of him? That's another great conspiracy, the Lindbergh baby.
Oh, yes.
It's a good one. He became the first person to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, and it was a huge hit. Everyone loved him, and he was an instant celebrity.
And
That's
he took his baby.
well, yeah, that happened a little later. But like, it's kind of crazy. Like that was the original influencer, and now it's just shaking your ass on TikTok videos.
And doing makeup tutorials.
Yeah, I guess that's helpful. That's a useful skill
Sure it is.
if you can afford the
8,000 pallets that they sell.
yeah.
No thanks.
1928, Earhart got a call from Captain Hilton H. Riley, who asked her, "Would you like to fly across the Atlantic?" And
Heck
she
yeah,
was
I
like,
would.
"Flying? I love flying." And as what?
You're really excited about that. Heck
Um,
yeah.
I love flying. So, okay, so she thought that was super cool. But then, like, once she gets there, they're like, yeah, we're going to have this male pilot and this male navigator fly you across the Atlantic. But, you know, you can like, keep the logbooks and stuff, which is
What?
nice. Well, you couldn't put a woman back then on an airplane and let her pilot it. Are you insane? She'd get hysterical.
Just get a vibrator and she'll be fine.
You know, all those women and their hormones. It's just...
Wait, so she was just like going along for a ride?
Yeah, she was basically like baggage. So she went for a really long ride across the Atlantic.
Oh, that sucks.
So when
I
the-
mean, whatever.
Yeah. Well, she does something about that. Just you wait. When the crew returned to the United States, they were greeted with some ticker tape parade.
Ticker tape.
I don't even know what that is. I heard it a bunch. I'm not exactly sure what it
I
means.
think it's like just confetti.
That would make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were super excited. The president was like, "Hey, you're really great." And they became celebrities. Now, Amelia herself is an influencer. So she got to go on a lecture tour talking about how she went on a ride across the Atlantic. She got to write a book. She got her own fashion line at Macy's.
Wait, just because she went for a ride in an airplane?
People have been famous recently for less.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
She made a porno, Angela.
No, it was a leaked sex tape. Come on.
Oh, okay.
All right. So regardless of her fame, Amelia couldn't shake the need to complete her own record-breaking cross-country flight. I guess it wasn't cross-country. It was cross-Atlantic. You know what I mean.
Sure.
So in 1928, she accomplished this by being the first woman to fly. Oh, wait, no. This is cross-country. Sorry. She took fly across the country. And in 1932, 34-year-old Earhart set off to complete her own solo transatlantic flight. So she did both of those things.
By
She was
herself.
like, by herself. Not only am I going to fly across the Atlantic, I am also going to fly across the country and be the first woman to do so.
Okay, so I take your
Super.
Atlantic flight and I up you.
Yeah, she wanted to prove that she could do it herself. Super freaking cool. So after freaking 14 hours and 56 minutes,
Oh my God.
an engine fire, a cracked manifold, icing on the wings, which you would think like an engine fire might melt the ice off the wings.
Well, the engine is in the middle and the wings are on the out. So,
Fire and ice at the same time.
yeah, but the fire would have to get to the wings. It would have to burn you up before it got there.
Is that how science works?
Totally.
Well, that happened. She ended up having to put the airplane down in a pasture in Northern Ireland, even though her final destination was supposed to be in France.
Hey, I think we have listeners in Ireland.
We do have listeners in Ireland. Hey, Ireland. But it was still transatlantic. And then even though she didn't make it to her destination, yeah, she did it. So it was super cool. And apparently like some farmer came running up to her because obviously they see this plane crash in the field.
In their field?
And they're like, oh, where'd you come from? And she's like, America.
Oh.
And he's like, shit.
That's far.
Yeah. She also flew to Honolulu, LA.
Whoa.
I know, right? Like I haven't been to Honolulu, but I've been on some long flights and I can't imagine being in a little tiny airplane
And just seeing water.
with no in-flight movie, no sugar
GPS.
cookies and ginger ale.
No naps.
Well, I'm sure they had maps.
No nap. Like I'm asleep. Nap.
I thought she said no maps.
No, she's just guessing which way to go.
No, the 30s, before maps were invented.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So she did a lot of cool
Wow.
things.
That is impressive. That right there.
Yeah. But you know what? Millie, she wanted more. So this is when she set out to plan her around the world flight to not just any around the world flight. It was going to be the longest one ever. It's like we're going to fly around the world, but we're going to make it like the fattest part of it, you know?
Oh, like at the equator.
Kinda, I guess. I don't know.
The widest
Yeah.
when you're taking your measurements.
The where is it? Oh, 29,000 mile version. It's a lot of miles.
The long route.
It's a lot of miles. So she would be flying a twin-engine Lockheed Electra 10E with navigator Fred Noonan and radio operator Harry Manning.
Wait, so she had a co-pilot
No, she had a navigator and a radio person.
not in the plane with her.
No, in the plane with her.
That airplane can have 3 people in it?
Yeah, it's a big one.
Oh, it's a twin engine, you said?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on March 17th, 1937, the crew completed the first leg of... Really?
I had my phone. I turned it off.
I need to come up with like a system. Like I'm going to make you do a shot every time your alarm goes off. What are you doing?
I was turning my alarm off.
Okay. Well, I have a really important story to tell
I'm
you.
sorry. I was holding my phone specifically to turn the alarm off at
By the
8:20.
way, we didn't talk about our drinks tonight.
Oh, tell me about it. Wait, no, I want to hear your story.
Okay. Well, in case you haven't figured out, we've had drinks tonight. Well, let me tell you about this really, really long airplane ride.
29,000 miles. See?
Good job.
I know,
You
I'm
remembered
listening.
a number. That was really good. So the crew completed the first leg of the flight from Oakland, California to Honolulu. Really freaking long. I'd be done after that. I'm like, okay, we need to take a break.
Heck yeah, we're in Hawaii. We're
Yeah,
hanging out
seriously.
for a while.
So there, the Electra received its servicing and was set to complete the second leg, which would put them at Howland Island. Remember that.
Howland?
Howland Island.
Okay.
To get there, Manning would use radio direction to hone in onto the Pacific Island. However, the group never left the ground.
They're still in I mean, not still, but you know what I mean? Like they were still in Honolulu?
At the time, yeah. So during the takeoff run, the forward landing gear collapsed, resulting in a ground loop, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds really bad.
Like a somersault's what I imagine.
Yeah, probably. Skidding the plane on its belly.
A ground loop. All right, or whatever.
So it sounds bad.
Sure.
So obviously the plane was severely damaged and the mission was put off. At this point, Manning was like, screw this, I'm out.
He doesn't want to fly with her anymore.
No,
He's
over it.
totally going to stay in Honolulu.
He's going to stay in Honolulu. He doesn't want anything to do with this crazy mission anymore. He's like, this chick's crazy. The Electra was being repaired, and that set the trip back to June. However, the weather and patterns forced Amelia to fly west instead of east. So she's going to fly back to California and then go that way because there's these like monsoon storms coming along.
And you don't want to fly in those.
And that is probably a bad thing. But this time they're going without Manning.
And he was the navigator?
He was the radio guy.
Radio
navigate. Well, I guess he used radio navigation, but also the radio person.
Communicated with
communicator. And then Noonan is the navigator guy. Okay. So here they go. They're off to California. They fly across the United States, and then they continue to Puerto Rico and a bunch of other places that I don't know how geography works. So from May to the end of June, they're doing okay. They travel through South America, Africa, West Asia, and then they arrive in Lae, New Guinea. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Lae. How do you say that?
Lae,
New Guinea.
Sure.
On June 29th, 1937.
Okay.
At this point, they've traveled 22,000 miles.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's like almost all of it. So how many do they have left?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7,000 more.
Good job.
Thanks. I used
you
my
get
fingers.
an A+. That's okay. You're allowed. On July 2nd at midnight, Amelia and Fred Manning take off from the Lae airfield for Howland Island.
And that's their destination.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Well, that's the
Not the final destination.
not the final. Well, it is the final destination. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're being honest, but it was the
where they were supposed to
they were
be
supposed
going,
to go,
but not the 29,000 part.
What?
Okay.
Where'd 29,000 come from?
29,000, like that's how many miles they're supposed to
Leagues
go.
under the sea?
No, that's 21. 31? 21. I don't know.
No, it was the end of their next leg.
Okay, got it.
And then from there, they only had 2 more before they were done.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So, Howland Island. It's this tiny little flat sliver of an island that's 6,500 feet long and 1,600 feet wide and 2,556 miles away, surrounded by what? But it's that far away. Once Amelia and neared Howland Island, the plan was for the U.S. Coast Guard ship, the Itasca, to communicate with them and then guide them in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the Itasca's out there, kind of
hey,
we're here, and then they have radio navigation, let them know how everything's going on,
Visuals.
and then if there's any problems, whatever, they're out there to guide them.
Got
okay?
it. Mm-hmm.
And because it's a whole celebrity thing, so they're monitoring this whole trip.
Oh, right.
Okay, there's a floating control tower. So it sounds like a great idea, but instead it was just a cluster. So at the beginning, Amelia was communicating her speed and altitude, but as they got closer, they couldn't hear any responses from the Itasca.
Okay.
Okay, so it is unclear exactly why they couldn't establish two-way radio communication, but maybe if they still had their radio expert, Manning, they could have figured it out.
He feels guilty.
Well, maybe, or he's I'm glad I wasn't on that ride.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he quit that same leg, but the opposite direction. Okay. The other problem was they were locating each other through this RDF, which is a radio directional finder, which for some reason, they couldn't connect. And this could be the result of an antenna that looks like possibly could have broken off during takeoff. That's one of the kind of theories of how they couldn't connect.
Okay.
Because they're broadcasting out. They're saying okay, wind, speed, direction, whatever sort of things they need to say. But she's not responding as if she heard them. So they can hear her.
But her responses aren't matching up with
exactly
what they're saying. Okay.
Yeah. And
So she's
later
still
on
communicating with them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's later on, here, I'll read you the communications. Let's just do that. So the Itasca radio log, this is at 7:30 states, Earhart on the northwest running out of gas. Half hour left. Can't hear us at all. We hear her and are sending on the 3105 east something 500, same time consistently. Okay?
Okay.
So that's just they're taking notes. And then the Itasca radio log position 2 at 7:42 states, Itasca, and this is like recording what she said to them, like in their radio log.
Got it.
Itasca, we must be on you, but we cannot see you. Gas is running low, but unable to reach you by radio, and are flying at 1,000 feet. Then at 7:58, the transmission said she couldn't hear the Itasca again and asked them to send voice signals so that they could try to pick up a radio bearing. The transmission was recorded by the Itasca at the loudest possible signal, indicating that Earhart and Noonan were in the immediate area. They couldn't send voice at the frequency she asked for, so Morse code signals were sent instead. Earhart acknowledged receiving those, but said she was unable to determine their direction. So that either might be like the little directional antenna issue or just the fact that they weren't radio experts or something else.
Okay.
Okay. Her last known transmission, 8:43 Earhart broadcast is the word I was trying to say. We are on the line 157337. We will repeat message. We will repeat 6210 kilocycles. Wait. However, a few moments later, she was back on the same frequency with the transmission that was logged as questionable. So, like, they think they know what she said, and they think
like
that was
or something.
Running. We are running on line north and south. Like, that's their direction. We're running on north and south line. And the radio, like, recorder said that she sounded frantic at this point. But at the same time, they thought that she was so close that they actually went outside of like the little radio cabin area to look for her because that's how close she was when she disappeared.
Okay.
What?
No, keep going. I want to know.
All right. So, the official report states that beginning 1 hour after her last call, the Itasca began to search for Amelia. Being unsuccessful, they called in the U.S. Navy, which searched the 157337, you know what that means? I have no idea, line. Later searched were the Phoenix Islands, which were south of Howland Island. A week after the disappearance, the Colorado, which is a Navy aircraft, did an overhead search, searching several islands, including Gardner Island, which had been uninhabited for over 40 years. And that island, the pilot said he saw signs of recent habitation, which were clearly visible, but he kept repeating a circling around the island, and he failed to elicit any sort of answering or waving from possible inhabitants. Okay? But being that there are no signs of any aircraft wreckage, he figured that it was just like maybe somebody stopped there,
from their boat or something.
And they continued to search for aircraft emergency rafts out in the water.
Okay.
All right. The search continued until July 19th and costs over $4 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And even after that, Amelia's husband continued to search with 2 small charter boats for all of the surrounding islands, just checking everywhere he possibly could.
Courtney Love did it.
Maybe. 7 years later, Amelia was declared dead in
Whoa.
What?
7 years?
Well, they were looking for her. Yeah. So 7 years they were looking. Okay. To the conspiracy theories.
Ready. Do it.
Theory number 1, known as the crash and sink theory.
That's where my head went.
Kind of what I think too. But so this is kind of what they think. She had to climb at one point to avoid a cloud cover, which burned up some extra fuel.
Okay.
And then there was also a stronger headwind than they had initially predicted.
Which is burning more fuel as well.
Which is burning more fuel. And then, of course, her last radio transmission saying we're running out of fuel. But the problem with this theory is that they were so close, they should have seen something. Because they literally had a ship in the water surrounding the area where she should have been. So why didn't they see anything?
It was cloudy. There was a cloud cover.
Well, no, because she was at 1,000 feet at that point. So she had climbed up above and then she descended back because she was looking for the island. She was that close. You know?
All right. Keep going.
I'm really trying to make that one like questionable.
Okay.
Okay. So conspiracy theory number 2, the Gardner Island theory. This is the one that was mentioned because, okay, the Colorado who was flying around, right? The
And
airplane.
is this the island that was uninhabited for
It was
40
uninhabited
years?
for 40 years,
Yeah,
but then
okay.
there was like signs of
Life.
habitation by that airplane. But like you would think, okay, if there you see any sort of habitation, wouldn't you go and immediately check for it?
Well, yeah. Like the
I don't
guy
know.
that circled around trying to get someone's attention, he should have like said, "Hey, how about you guys hop in a boat and go search it out?"
Nope, no airplane. Why bother? So this is the theory that she became a castaway on the island. Her and
Tom
Noonan.
Hanks. Oh,
So Wilson. Okay. The island was on the top of a coral mountain, meaning that the Electra could have sunk in the water, like just off. So imagine like a mountain that's underwater and just the top is showing.
okay.
So if the Electra, the airplane,
Oh, okay.
like sunk just directly off the shore because it's an immediate like drop down instead of a beach that you can walk out onto. Does that make sense?
Yes, I got
Okay.
it.
That's the theory. And other evidence was in 1940, skeletal remains were found along with a navigational tool,
Why didn't
And-
anyone look at this island?
a shoe
No.
that matched the type that Amelia wore.
Are you freaking kidding me? Like, for real?
Yeah.
No one looked at this damn island.
I guess not. I mean, maybe her husband, I would think. I don't know.
What?
Okay.
That's frustrating.
Well, they took the skeletal remains. A medical examiner determined that the bones belonged to a 5'8" male, which matched neither Amelia or Noonan.
Oh.
Fred. Yeah.
All right, but still.
And then
What was the navigational tool then?
it was like one of those looking for stars tools, which apparently wasn't the same kind that Fred Noonan.
Oh. All right.
And then the shoe, it was the wrong size.
Oh. All right. Well, I bought into that for a second. I was really worked up about that.
No, I mean, the thing is, later on, other medical examiners wanted to test the bones, but that first medical examiner was like, nope, not them, and tossed them.
Oh.
It's like, these bones.
It's just some random bones.
It's not Amelia, doesn't matter, not important. Goodbye.
Wow.
I mean, they belong to somebody.
Okay.
And who knows, like, maybe the shoes got soggy, stretched out a bit. But here's the thing. On that island, there are habitants, not humans. But these guys, I'm handing Rosa a picture.
Is that a crab?
It's a giant-ass crab.
Like the size of a trash can.
It's a coconut crab.
That is giant.
It's it's freaking scary.
Did it eat her?
That's the theory. Okay, so in 1988, the year I was born, the International Group of
Vibrators.
Historical Aircraft Recovery began an investigation after seeing a photo taken on the island in October of 1937, which, according to analysis who viewed it, they indicated that there was a blurry object in the corner that could have been a landing gear sticking out of the water.
Huh.
So that's the theory he's going on. So he's saying that maybe Amelia was there, even if those bones weren't hers, which can't be verified anymore because medical examiner tossed them. So to me, and I didn't even print out that photo because it didn't even seem worth printing out. It's like there's picture, and in the corner, have you ever seen a picture that somebody took and it's like, oh, it's the Loch Ness Monster?
And it's like a blur.
Blurry little blob sticking out.
Some duck that
So
was
they're
flying by.
thinking that was a landing gear for Amelia's plane.
Okay, it's a stretch.
But at the same time, like, okay, obviously there's people there and they're taking a picture. Wouldn't they have noticed that?
How about you guys go look at the island?
They did, okay? They did. So artifacts discovered by that organization, which is Tiger, if you put all of those words together, letters and words and stuff. And they have found an aluminum panel, possibly from the Electra. on the
Possibly.
island. Possibly. Maybe. It's a piece of metal. They found it on the island.
It couldn't have been from a boat.
You don't need to ask so many questions. It was made in the 1930s and the manufacturing specifications, and they also found an oddly cut piece of clear plexiglass, the same thickness and curvature of the Electra's window.
Okay, well, that makes a little sense.
Yeah, so maybe. Oh, and they also found a shoe that kind of looks like hers, maybe. Oh, and a tin of freckle cream, alleged to be hers.
What the hell is freckle cream?
Well, freckles, I guess, weren't cute back then. And she was freckly, and she was known to have this cream.
That covered up her freckles?
No, it like bleached them away or something.
Oh.
I'm sure it's not great for you.
Wait.
Yeah.
And they found all of that of hers?
Uh-huh. Well, they don't. Somebody's. Maybe.
Okay.
So that's theory 2, that she was eaten by crabs.
Okay.
Theory 3, the Japanese theory. Okay. So in 1966, CBS correspondent Fred Groner published a book claiming that Earhart and Noonan were captured and executed by the Japanese. You don't seem excited about any of this.
I need to know more.
Okay. So this theory states that they landed on the Japanese-controlled Marshall Islands located 800 miles away. So maybe they were just a tad off course there.
Yeah, that's kind of far.
Uh-huh. So in 1990, NBC TV series Unsolved Mysteries
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
broadcast an interview with a woman who is native to the island who claimed to have witnessed Earhart and Noonan's execution by Japanese soldiers.
Whoa.
Yep. Which, I mean, this was like right before World War II broke out. And there's like also these other theories that maybe this whole trip was planned so that the U.S. could kind of surveil that area. And that it may have been hostile territory, and they may have been.
So they would enter into that area, quote, looking for Amelia, but not really.
Right.
Hmm.
So there's that theory.
Okay.
And then there's a slightly different version of the Japanese capture hypothesis where the Japanese actually shot down her plane. But I feel like that would have been pretty obvious, you know? They already had like a floating control tower in the area. Former Pan Am pilot supports this view in a 1993 book called Age of Heroes, The Incredible Adventure of Pan Am Pilot and His Greatest Triumph, Unraveling the Mystery of Amelia Earhart. That's not arrogant at all, is it?
Wow.
A recent proponent of this theory is Mike Campbell, who published a book in 2012 called The Truth at Last. And Campbell cites claims from Marshall Islanders who witnessed the crash, as well as U.S. Army sergeant who found it a suspicious grave site near a former Japanese prison.
Well, how would he know what was in that grave?
It was suspicious.
Well, it could have been anyone.
It was very suspicious.
Okay.
All right. So a number of Earhart's relatives also support this view, and they are convinced.
Really?
Yeah, they're convinced that the Japanese were somehow involved in Amelia's disappearance, citing unnamed witnesses, including Japanese troops in Saipan, natives. According to one cousin, the Japanese cut the Electra into scrap and threw it into the ocean to explain why the aircraft was not found at the Marshall Islands.
I was wondering that.
And maybe it just floated 800 miles away over to the other island where the crabs munched on it for a bit. I don't know. So in 2017, the History Channel did a documentary called Amelia Earhart, The Lost Evidence, and proposed that a photograph exhibit, wait, I have it. B, a photograph at the bottom, that one. What do you see in that photograph?
I see a couple boats and like a dock and some people.
That's clearly Amelia Earhart.
No, it's not.
It is. That's her.
Which one is it supposed to be?
Which one do you think it is?
If I were to,
if you were to just guess.
you were to say this is a picture of Amelia Earhart,
Which one is she?
the one with the big hat?
No.
Oh, shut up. Which one? The little short one?
The one that's sitting down with her legs hanging off the dock that you can't even see, so you only see like her butt up, facing away from the camera.
I thought that was like a man sitting there. You can't see anything.
It's Amelia Earhart, Riza.
No, it's not.
It's Amelia Earhart, and the guy with the receding hairline is clearly Fred Noonan.
I don't even see a hairline on any of these people.
That's who it is, okay? All right.
It looks like the cast from Gilligan's Island. Okay, they're hopping on their 7-hour cruise or whatever.
Tell you what's going on. The picture showed a Caucasian male on a dock who appeared to look like Noonan, and a woman sitting on the dock facing away from the camera, but judging by the physique and the haircut, it's clearly Amelia Earhart.
It looks like a hat.
The documentary theorizes that the photo was taken after Earhart and Noonan crashed. A common criticism of all of the versions of the Japanese capture hypothesis is that the Japanese-controlled Marshall Islands were a considerable distance. Yeah, it was freaking 800 miles away from where she was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And to reach there and to have land on low fuel, they would have had to change their course to the northeast and fly several hundreds of miles off.
Yeah,
with
800.
No fuel.
Several. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So judging by basic geography and navigation, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But it was enough for people to like freaking write books and stuff about it.
Well, and her family's like on board about that.
Well, some of them, but if they could have been like, hey, yeah, I'm Amelia's third cousin twice removed. So I'll do an interview with you.
My 23andMe gives me 6%.
I don't know.
Okay.
And this leads to my favorite theory.
Okay, can't wait.
And this is theory, I'm calling it 3B because it still kind of has to do with the Japanese. Okay. So what if Amelia Earhart and Noonan
had a secret love affair?
Oh, that's another one.
Oh, I was making that up.
No, but there was a movie about that.
Okay.
But it was fictional.
Oh.
And they were like running away together.
Yeah.
Which I kind of want to watch, but it was back in like the 40s, so I mean, it could be good. There's old movies that are still good like that.
Sure, classic.
This is the theory that Amelia Earhart was a spy for the government.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And the whole idea of her going missing near these Japanese-controlled islands was essentially a surveillance operation where she would get lost, but really she was landing in Japanese territory to be a spy.
Okay. I like that theory. That's exciting.
Okay. So in November 2006, the National Geographic Channel aired 2 episodes of Undiscovered History series claiming that Earhart survived the flight. After she completed her mission of being a spy, she was transferred back to the United States, and she moved to New Jersey, changed her name, remarried, and became Irene Craigmile Bullum.
No,
Okay.
I don't believe this theory. You lost me.
No. Look at the pictures.
Okay.
Look at the pictures.
The side by side?
The side by side, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's Amelia Earhart.
Both of them are supposed to be her?
Yes. Aren't they clearly both the same person?
No.
It's a great theory.
The lady on the right, the old lady, looks like
Irene, a.k.a. Amelia Earhart.
any little old lady in a rest home. No, the eyes are totally different.
Okay.
Nope, I'm looking
This
closer.
claim had originally been raised in the book Amelia Earhart Lives, which was published in 1970 by author Joe Class, based on the research of Major Joseph Grievous. Okay.
No, it's
Well,
not her.
Irene also didn't care for this theory.
Oh no.
Because she wasn't claiming to be Amelia Earhart.
She was like, I'm Irene.
She
damn
was
it.
like doing bingo, playing bingo somewhere, and somebody's like, Amelia,
I don't
it's
even
you."
like airplanes.
Yeah, and she severely denied it, much like Amelia Earhart would.
Yeah. That looks like just some little old lady.
Yeah, she filed a lawsuit requesting $1.5 million in damages and submitted a lengthy affidavit in which she rebutted these claims. The book's publisher, McGraw-Hill, withdrew the book from the market shortly after the release.
Ooh,
and the court
McGraw-Hill's
records,
a big, fancy publishing company.
yeah, it is. I didn't even think about that.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't that exactly what Amelia Earhart would do?
Change her name?
No, sue.
Oh.
Well, change her name and then sue when they tried to out her secret.
So it's just confirming that it
Just
was her.
confirming that it is, in fact, Amelia Earhart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Bolam's personal life history was thoroughly documented by researchers in eliminating any possibility that she was, in fact, Amelia Earhart. But, those can be falsified. Also, Kevin Richland, a professional criminal forensic expert hired by National Geographic, studied photographs of both women and cited many measurable facial differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really sad. I really wanted her to be Amelia Earhart. I thought that was a great theory. Could you imagine? So yeah, those are the theories. They all have very compelling evidence, especially that crash and sink one.
Well, and I'm going with the picture, the one with the person sitting on the dock with their back. That's like the size of a pinhead. You can't tell anything about them.
It's Amelia Earhart, Rosa.
So not.
Can't you recognize her?
I'm going with the crab theory.
She got eaten by crabs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a pretty good one. And I understand when these people are going out to look for evidence, any tiny little thing. It's like the whole idea of what's the thing about if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail or whatever?
I've never heard that, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. Like when you're really, really looking for something like that,
you want to find it. Yeah.
Oh, of course this piece of sea trash is her plain
propeller
scrap metal. But I would like to believe that. That would be kind of cool. Well, not that she got eaten by crabs.
I was going to say, wait,
not
what?
at all. But the fact that they found pieces and then you have some sort of answer.
Some closure.
But I honestly don't believe that one either. Because there's everything that they mentioned. The bones, they didn't match.
Mm-hmm.
The navigational tool wasn't the right
same kind.
The shoe wasn't her size. So
right.
It's I don't know.
She just crashed in the water.
I think so, unfortunately.
It is interesting, though. I mean, because you would think, I guess there wasn't a whole lot of fuel, but there'd still be oil and stuff from the engine that would, come up to the surface. You would see a oily,
sheen?
layer on the top of the water.
I don't know. Maybe.
If they were looking.
Well, they were looking.
Well,
they were looking for a long time.
They were totally.
$4 million worth of looking.
That's a lot of money back then. I mean, it's a lot of money now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she was like you said, though, she was like a celebrity.
Right. Absolutely. She was an influencer. She was a huge celebrity. And the depth of the majority of that area, of course, if she landed close enough to an island where maybe the plane was just offshore, but the majority, I guess, that they suspect would be 18,000 feet deep. She was 3 miles, I think. Maybe. More than 3 miles? More than 3 miles deep.
Have they... Oh, I guess it would have moved quite a bit or just, rusted away. But, they find, random, shipwrecks.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well,
I wonder...
the Titanic people went out and looked for her, too.
Oh.
But sorry. I think even the depth was too deep for them to find anything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Yeah. And so my ripple, this is a stretch of a ripple, but Amelia Earhart, shortly after completing the Women's Air... Wait, let me look up the date because I don't think I wrote that down. The Women's Air Derby back in her heyday of aviating. Mm-hmm. She invited all of the female pilots, registered, licensed female pilots in the United States to have a meeting. And of those, I think it was 117 female pilots, 99 of them were able to attend this meeting.
I know where you're going with us.
That she hosted. And that group ended up becoming an organization called the 99s.
Yep.
Which is still a very well-known, popular organization of female pilots today.
I know quite a few.
And they host all kinds of events to encourage women to either become professionals or even just hobbyists in aviation. And that includes not just flying, but becoming a mechanic or
air traffic controller,
or anything in the realm of aviation. And it's alive and well today.
So cool.
Well after her legacy.
I know someone that just received one of their scholarships to continue their flight training.
They do scholarships all the time. It's a super cool organization.
They're super big advocates of women in aviation. Pretty cool. Cool.
And one thing that I really loved about like researching her is that she was a feminist in the way that she believed that everybody should pursue whatever type of career that they wanted to, regardless of their gender. And although she supported so many women into non-traditional occupations, she also supported men to do what they wanted to do, even if it was a traditionally woman's job. So if they wanted to be a fashion designer or
nurse,
be a stay-at-home dad, she also supported that. And
good.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting and progressive for her time.
It's progressive for now too, even, unfortunately. Like, there's so many stereotypes still today.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's
cool.
my
That
story
was super interesting.
about Amelia Earhart.
I thought I knew it. I thought she just flew into the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, oh, those are other theories too. Another one is that she flew into an alien wormhole.
Oh,
and got blasted into space.
Sucked up.
Another theory is that when she crashed, the mole people from down under, they came out and rescued her from her sinking airplane. And she now lives down at the mole people.
As their leader.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
That's a fun theory.
It's a possibility.
I like it. Cool. Okay, so what are we doing next week?
Oh, we've got to shake it up. Shake it up.
Is
it your turn or my turn to pick?
You can pick.
Okay. Can't reach.
Pick a good one.
Medical oddities and discoveries.
Wait, we did that, didn't we?
Did we? Oh, was that the vibrator one?
That's Vibrator and Annie.
Oh, okay.
Pick a different
I totally
one.
forgot. Hey, eventually we're going to have to recycle these.
Yeah, we should have like a done pile.
We should. Okay. It is...
Pick one. Just one. You can't pick 14.
Theories. Okay, honestly, I've picked like 5 that we've already done already. We need to like separate these. Special events gone wrong.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
I'm excited about that.
That's our next topic. That can be taken many different ways.
Special events gone wrong. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about our book.
We're going to be talking about our book, and we're going to start doing our top 10 list.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, let me pull mine up.
I hope.
So,
Sorry.
Our theme this time was unpopular opinions.
Yeah. So we decided to do a top 10 list basically because our podcast is constantly involving
death, sadness, and it's like, let's have a little lightheartedness. So when you get sad about Amelia possibly being eaten by giant crabs, you can laugh at these things maybe, or just like ponder them. They're not really that funny. They're just kind of like, are they crazy? So we each did 10 this time.
Yes.
And we were talking later, we'll each do only 5 next time to make it 10.
Yeah.
But you want to do 1-1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one was popular opinions.
Unpopular.
Unpopular opinions that we each have. And this was something that a friend of ours, Daryl, posted on Facebook. So
Hi, Daryl.
We're going to steal that idea.
We like it. Okay. My number 1 is mayonnaise is gross.
I agree.
Okay.
I totally support that opinion. I don't think it's an unpopular one.
I think
disgusting.
It's the worst condiment ever.
It's just slimy. Okay. Mine is Parks and Rec is better than The Office.
I totally disagree.
I know. A lot of people are going to hate me for that.
I love The Office, and I am still trying to get into Parks and Rec.
I think we've already talked about how, like, I've really tried The Office, and I just can't get into
Try it
it.
again. Okay, you try The Office again. I will try Parks and Rec.
But it gives me secondhand embarrassment.
It's so fun.
It's hard.
You want to read your number 2?
Oh, okay. So my number 2 is also that mayonnaise is a disgusting excuse for a condiment.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did you not read your number 1?
I did.
Oh, yeah, Parks and Rec. Okay, right. And you put mayonnaise for number 2? Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah, we had the same thought on that one.
Yeah, because it's disgusting. I put for my number 2, pickle juice is delicious.
I also agree with that.
I love
And I don't even like pickles.
I love them. They're delicious. All of
Okay.
them.
My number 3 is the Beatles are overrated.
Okay, my next one had to do with music as well. And I like the Beatles. I like the Beatles a lot. But I don't like U2.
Oh, no, I don't like them either.
Mm-mm.
I'm very picky. Am I next?
Sure.
Okay. Fanny packs are underappreciated. I wore a fanny pack today.
Did you really?
I totally did. Yeah, I went on a run this morning and I fanny packed it like 8.5 miles.
Okay, so that's funny because I was totally thinking like, when is the last time I've ever even seen a fanny pack? But
I have 3.
anyone like on a run, like that's all a runner belt is. That's all. It's a fanny pack. It's for a spot for your fuel and your water and your phone.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're not fancy calling it a running belt. It's a freaking fanny pack. Don't try to be fancy.
All right, my next one is I've never watched an entire Star Wars or Harry Potter movie, and I don't care to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some slack on that
I mean,
one.
honestly, I could take it or leave it. I've watched all of the Star Wars and a couple.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces of all of them. I've never sat through an entire one.
Honestly, I could not tell you what happens in any of them. Like, it didn't stick with me.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. My number 5 is pizza should have pineapple on it.
100%.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some sweet and salty.
Yeah, totally. My next one is accents can make a person super sexy or super unattractive.
Agreed.
Like House is a good example, or David Beckham.
House, yeah. Hugh Laurie
Uh-huh.
as House,
Totally sexy.
as his regular talking voice.
I
his
don't want
British
to
accent.
Don't want to look at him at all. No.
Not a fan.
Mhm.
Not a fan. My number 6 is Step Brothers was an awful movie. Did you ever watch it?
I think I did.
It's dumb. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. It didn't. If I watched it, I wasn't impressed by it.
Yeah.
My next is making your bed in the morning is the worst household chore.
I totally disagree with this. This is like my first adamantly disagree. Absolutely.
You make your bed every morning?
If I don't, I feel like a slob.
Really? I hate it.
I feel like a total slob.
Hate making my bed. I hate it.
I hate walking past my bedroom and seeing my bed not made.
Oh, I can't stand washing.
It's like your first accomplishment of the day.
No. Mm-mm.
It sets you off in the right foot.
I've heard that. Maybe I should try it, but I
should.
can't stand it. I hate making my bed.
It's not, I mean, it's like the easiest damn thing to do, too.
No.
It's not that hard.
Mm-mm. Hate it.
Okay. Am I up?
I think so.
Palm trees are the worst.
I agree. I hate palm trees.
They're
I hate them.
stupid.
They're what about matchsticks?
Oh yeah, they if it's stupid because California is known to spontaneously combust, but everybody in California is like, oh my god, I need to have a palm tree. It's so California.
Well, get ready for it to burn on fire.
Yeah, they don't even make any shade.
No, they're stupid looking.
They have a bunch of rats living in them.
They don't do anything.
They're just giant grass.
No, I don't
They're
like
dumb.
them. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you were like a T-Rex or something, then they'd be cool.
If they were what the hell are you talking about?
Like dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs would like palm trees.
Are you high?
Do you think a dinosaur would like a palm tree?
Why? What would they do with it?
They'd eat them. Or maybe not a T-Rex, but like a brontosaurus.
No.
Why not? They're nice and tall. Okay,
And let's move on.
I think it's your turn. Go.
No, I just did palm trees.
Oh, okay. I put pie is better than cake.
Disagree.
Really?
Disagree. Some flourless chocolate cake. Oh, yeah.
No, some Dutch apple pie. Yummy.
Dutch ovens. Okay. Number 8, candy corn is the best Halloween candy.
Totally agree. I love candy corn. Love it.
Love it. So good.
My next one had to do with a holiday as well, but it was Christmas. And Christmas lights should be lit all year long. I love Christmas lights.
Like even the
Twinkly lights.
Well, I love twinkle lights, like white lights, though.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like if you're having like green and red and rainbow, rainbow's okay. But
I mean, like just driving, like you're driving home in December or where, and you see like Christmas lights, it makes me so happy.
I think the specialness would wear off.
I love it. Go ahead.
I'm kind of indifferent about that one. Okay, my number 9 is McDonald's black coffee is better than Starbucks black coffee.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think Starbucks black coffee is disgusting.
I don't think it's good.
It's gross. It's burned.
Yeah,
on purpose.
It's like over roasted.
It's yuck.
It's not good.
No, I agree with you.
Sorry.
And it's expensive. My next one is, I know you're going to disagree with me on this. Oreos are the worst cookie.
I love Oreos.
Ew.
Oreos are delicious.
Yuck.
And I can't buy them because I'll like eat the entire package.
Ew.
I love them so much.
That's one cookie I will buy because I won't eat them. They can sit in my cabinet for a month.
I love Oreos. The mint Oreos are the best.
Gross.
Okay. So this is my last one. It is number 10. Jumping spiders are the cutest.
Okay, you showed me a jumping spider.
I did. I sent you a picture of a jumping spider. Don't you think it's adorable?
Pretty damn cute.
They're really cute. I see them at work all the time, and it's like, oh, hi, friends.
I'm a fan of spiders anyways. I'm not like an arachnophobe or whatever. But yeah, those ones are really cute.
They're really cute.
Okay, my last one. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Dooney & Burke is super ugly and just proving how entitled people are. And it's not necessarily like because it's Dooney & Burke it's ugly. It's just like the letters, the DB or the green and red Gucci lines or the LV, just like it's just ugly. It's ugly, and I'm not going to pay $400 for it.
Yeah, some people are super into it.
I know.
It's very popular, especially on the gram.
Yeah.
People love that shit. I mean, it's not for me.
No.
But I don't know. If you want to spend your own money on it, do what you want.
Do what you want.
That's cool. Yeah, just not my thing either. I can agree with that.
Cool. Okay. So we'll have to come up with a theme.
Now that everybody hates us for all our stupid opinions.
All the Dooney and Gucci wearers, and
you know what? If you disagree, that's okay. I still like you.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand their unpopular opinions.
Mayonnaise is disgusting.
It's really gross.
All right. So until next week, don't forget to be a fountain
and not a drain.
Bye.